Hi everybody! I have no idea where the camera is, so if I'm looking like all over the place, that's completely my fault. I'm recording off the iPad. So, this is Art Talk. In this episode, I'm talking about things I wish I knew when I was younger, e.g., stop opening and closing the door, e.g., art tips for young artists. Now the first thing I want to tell young artists is use references. Actually, no, that's not the very first thing I want to tell artists. The first thing I want to tell you guys as young artists is don't worry about what other people think. I got bullied a lot when I was in, high school, junior high, elementary school. And a lot of the subject was based on kind of like, oh, look at you weirdo drawing a dragon. All the time, dragons, dragons, dragons. I had people making fun of my subjects of drawing. Because they were like, my chair's doing the farty thing with the leather, sorry. There were other artists in the school who obviously were doing beautiful things like, oh, I'm gonna make a picture of my dog, or let me illustrate this landscape, and they were gorgeous pictures, but they were normal. I was here drawing aliens and dragons and crap like that and writing in different languages. 38 of them now. And I got bullied. What I want you guys to do, don't give a flying crap about what other people are telling you about your art. I mean, sometimes it's a bit difficult because if you're drawing something weird and your parents catch onto it, that's bad. But as long as you can hide it from your parents, draw what you want to draw. I drew dragons fighting robots, I drew robots fighting robots, I drew secret underground layers of evil companies in Russia, and it was great, and it made my imagination go BAM! And it was awesome. Don't lose that. Do it for yourself. Also, that brings me on to my second kind of subject, and that subject is don't use social media until you're older. Please. Social media is Where are these noises coming from? Social media is extremely bad for your mental health. I'm learning this right now at the ripe young age of 24, or for some people, ancient age of 24. Yeah, I'm learning it. I have 250,000 followers on TikTok, and boy am I learning it. My mental health has taken a pitfall in the last year because I'm starting to do art for them instead of for me, and I'm looking for their approval in every single thing I do. I'm like, oh my god, if I don't record a webtoon, if I don't record my artistic process for this webtoon and post it online and get over 1,000 likes, I'm a failure. Don't do what I'm doing. It's awful. It's just literally, don't do it. You don't need other people's approval. Just because you make a piece of art and post it on Instagram and the algorithm takes a crap on you and you get 0 likes does not mean it's a bad piece of art. It just means that Instagram is a really unfair algorithm and they're not going to show it to anybody else. Share it with your other art friends at school. If you were like me and didn't have any art friends, share it with your imaginary friends. Ha ha ha. Sorry. But yeah, don't worry about that kind of stuff. Do your art for you. Don't get on social media till you're like 15 or older, and you'll be healthier and happier. And it actually it lets your imagination go. Okay, so what even was point number 1? Point number 1 was don't care about things people say. Point 2 was don't use social media. Point 3, use references. Here's a story my dad loves to tell to people. I was a really good artist from a very young age. I just have the aptitude for it, and my brain works like that. My dad gave me one of Leonardo da Vinci's sketchbooks, like a catalog of his work. I took it in, I think I was like 8 or 9 or something. I took it into my room, I disappeared for a few hours, then I came back out, and I was like, Dad, this guy's really good, I don't think I can do this yet. It's one of his favorite stories to tell. And it started me on using references, because then I started sketching his sketches, and I learned from his sketches. You can learn no matter what stage you are in art. I admit, I have 4,500 pictures on my phone, and more than half of them are other people's art. And you know why I have that many? Let's see. Wait, I'm gonna find it for you. TikTok critiques, clouds. Yeah, I have a folder called Draw This/Learn. Look at all this. Look at all these pictures. All these pictures exist because I saw something, and yeah, there's a bunch of naked models in there because I like learning anatomy. Shh. But you always get inspired by people around you. Always use references. I recently did an illustration of, it's from my PIRANTINA books. It's for like chapter 7 when there's a dragon hunching across from the lake on the protagonist, and she kind of freaks out a bit. But I was like, I don't know how to draw water. I don't know how to draw a forest. Oh well. And then it's not an oh well situation. It's a let me go online and find an image or a photograph or something, and then you look at it and you learn how to do it better. I spent so much of my time looking at my own eyes in the mirror, looking at my hands. Hands are one of my favorite things to draw, and people on TikTok are like, oh my god, how do you draw hands so fast? And I'm like, I spent over 10 years learning how to draw these bad boys. And that's what you guys need to do too. Using reference is not a bad thing. When I was younger, okay, complete honesty moment here. When I was younger, I hated admitting that I would use reference. I was like, I'm a genius. I can do this from my brain. My mistake. Because now, as an older artist, whenever I use reference, especially if I don't know the angle something's supposed to be sitting at, my art is way better and I learn. And that's why I have so many frickin' pictures on my phone. So yeah, don't be afraid to use reference. It will make you a better artist. I'm not saying go and trace everything. I'm saying if you're having difficulty drawing an arm from a weird angle, like foreshortening like this or something, then take a picture of yourself and look at that picture while you draw your character. And then your picture is going to be a lot more accurate and you're going to learn a little bit about foreshortening. Okay, what other tips? Master one thing at a time. Or don't, and just use everything. This is a very difficult one to talk about. Here's where this is coming from. As a lot of you guys know, I'm a digital artist. And I use an iPad Pro, or I use this computer and a Wacom tablet. I did not start like that. I started using sketchbooks and crayons and colored pencils and chalk pastels. Don't think that using a digital tablet is going to make you a better artist. It makes things a bit easier and you have a wider berth of... By easier, I mean, okay, when I started out doing digital art, it sucked. What digital art gives you is a huge berth of materials in one tiny package, and it lets you undo things, and it gives you digital rulers if you want to make straight lines. But, and this is a big but, it does not make you a better artist. There are people, you can take a 15-year-old with pencils and paint and stuff who can do a way better job than if you just gave them a digital tablet and let them use it for 3 days. It's practice, it's a material. So don't think begging your parents to get you a new iPad Pro or something in Procreate is going to make you automatically a better artist. It's going to give you a more advanced material, and that can be confusing. Procreate has like 150 brushes and I only use 20 of them. It's like a lot of materials, and there are still things in Procreate I don't know how to do. And Photoshop has 3D in it. I've never used the 3D thing in Photoshop, and it has all these like weird lens tricks and shadow things it can do, and I'm like, I still don't know the difference between hard light and add. What are all these things? What are these things? So yeah, don't think that getting digital tools is going to make you a better artist or it's going to make you better in general. You have to learn the basics first. Learn your composition, learn your color, all those things. My next point. Use the internet to your advantage. It is an immensely big, powerful, all-encompassing tool that gives you tutorials. You can find people like me on here, and we make tutorials. In fact, a lot of my tutorials are linked down in the description. And you can learn so much. In fact, now that I think of it, about half the stuff or more that I learned in college, I found online later. For a lot less money, or no money at all. Like me, I'm giving people information for free because I hate capitalism and I think that our colleges cost way too much money. Anyhow, so yeah, use the internet to your advantage. There are many great tutorials. You can learn basically everything you could ever want to learn about art in the great Ethernetverse. So yeah, use that to your advantage, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I have to do my turn on evil apples. Not right now. Okay, what's another point? Drawing naked people is not weird. It's natural for you to be curious about the human body. It's weird because your parents might walk in on you trying to get the shape of a tata properly, and you're like, oh my dear God, what have I done? And yes, it's going to be awkward, and it's probably going to make your parents a little bit irritated, so make sure they don't find that. But wanting to figure out how to draw a naked human body of either gender, or whatever you want to do with the genders, that's completely normal. Don't worry about it. It's not bad. It's curiosity and it's learning. And I feel really bad for those of you who grew up with very strict parents. That's hard, buddy. Okay. What's another one? I actually had another one jump into my head. Figure drawing classes. Yes, there is a naked person in front of you. Yes, it's very awkward the first or second time. But then at a certain point, you're going to start... It's the weirdest thing. You see their body as a physical object with light and texture and color and volume, instead of seeing their body as, like, I don't know. Ooh, I was cracking my fingers. Okay, instead of seeing their body as like, oh my God, that's a titty, or ooh, that's the flesh thing that hangs between a guy's legs. So don't worry about nude drawing. It's necessary for you to learn. It's gonna happen sooner or later. You really want to do it. I'm serious about this. Going and drawing naked people, it sounds really funny, was one of the most useful things I've ever done when it comes to my art career. And it's actually kind of fun. I'm not saying it's fun because, haha, I can sit there and draw a naked person. I'm saying it's fun because you learn so much. You really do. It's weird. You can actually get the same, you can get the same kind of, I don't know what to call it, experience going out and sitting on a bench and watching people, walk around and drawing them like that. So use that to your advantage. You don't have to draw the naked people. You can spy on people in real life and sketch them drinking their coffee or walking the dog. Okay, what else? Give me a hot second to think about this. Shout out to... Okay, somebody just commented on my video. Shout out to... Hi. That's literally your name. They said, well, I guess I'll be the first to comment. You're so underrated. You're like my favorite artist and your tutorials are so helpful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's another thing. I do give shout outs in my art talks to people who leave comments that I really like. So thank you so much. You are the first shout out I've ever done on YouTube. Hi. Okay. Makes me very happy, actually. People care about me. Actually, I just did the video talking about how unhealthy social media is for people's brains. See, it's getting to me. Okay, what else? Okay, here's a big one. Try multiple different materials. I started off drawing with pencil, and then I moved to colored pencil, and I said, I am never going to stop coloring with colored pencil. It's going to be the material for my life. And then I got very interested in watercolors. And then I really started enjoying drawing with pens. With ballpoint pens specifically. And then inking pens. Okay, it's getting close to 7 o'clock. All the old people in this neighborhood come out at 7 o'clock to ring bells for the first responders, so I have to remember to do that. Apparently the police are going to be doing like this giant parade thing today, and I don't want to miss it. Okay, anyhow. And then the one thing I never got to like was oil paint, because it's messy, and I don't like messy, which is actually one of the reasons that I like digital art. I don't have to get my hands messy. It sounds so stupid, but it's true. I have OCD. I can't stand it when I have like a hangnail or when there's even something mildly sticky on my hands. But anyhow, completely off topic. Wow, my ADHD is shining today. But yeah, work with multiple different materials and never assume that you're going to get stuck on one material for a very long time. You can't decide what you really like unless you try everything else first. So that means now I know that I like markers, brain fart, watercolors, digital art, and on occasion I jump back to pens and back to pencils. It also means that I have a lot, and I mean a lot, of art supplies I don't use because they're just sitting around. Oh, here's something that all young artists should know. It's very rare to fully complete a sketchbook. At least for me. I know that I have a bunch of sketchbooks that are mostly filled. Not all the way filled, but mostly filled. He's mostly dead. Sorry, that's a reference that you guys wouldn't get. That's something from a movie called Princess Bride. It's hilarious. Please watch it. And also, biggest, oh my god, huge, giant thing. Art block is normal. Don't think that you're failing if you have art block. I've had art block for like 2 months in a row at points. Don't try to force yourself into a creative state. If you have art block, that means that there is something else in your brain that you're trying to fix, you're trying to get over it. Sometimes, like, I know I used to do this a lot in high school and college, you use art as a venting source. You use it to get over things, I guess. You know, like, oh, I'm so pissed off at my parents, or, oh, Jimmy's bullying me in the lunch line again. Like, and you'll create a piece of art to vent your emotions. That's natural, but art block is also natural. Don't worry about it. You're not failing. It's not like the art has disappeared from your brain. It's completely normal. In fact, right now, I'm going through a little bit of art block, and it sucks because people are depending on me for tutorials and webtoons and publishing things on TikTok. So that's when it gets hard. But when you're younger, don't worry about it. Do I have any particular way I get through art block? Not really. I just kind of let it ride itself out, and I take my creative urges and I direct them at another subject, such as writing or gardening or gaming, I guess. It gets a little bit more difficult if you are a professional like I am and you have to do art. That's when you get stuck in a little bit of a mud puddle. But when you're young and when you're a beginner artist and you're just sitting there and you're trying to find something to draw and it feels like your brain won't move and your hand is stuck in a tar pit, that's normal. Don't worry about it. Everybody finds a way to get over it. There are a bunch of little challenges you can do. You can, like, take 2 dice. I don't even know how you say it. You know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hair color, arm color, you know, like blah, 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 and then roll the dice and come up with a character. Or there are online character generators as well. So you can use that maybe to break yourself out of art block. Or one thing I like doing is just going with colors. Like just taking a canvas and not caring. And then it'll let me just do weird crap and experiment. It's really nice, actually. So yeah, those are my points. If I could summarize everything I've gone over in this video, and I'm sure there are more things I could think off of, you know, like if I was given some time to think about it. So do your art for you. Try not to get on social media until you're older because you are valid and it's what you want to do that matters. It's not the likes that matter. Don't worry about art block, it's normal. Don't immediately think that digital art will make you a better artist. Practice and use reference. And then something about naked people. And that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching. If you do want to learn, because, oh yes, the last one, of course, the internet's a great reference for learning how to do things. Somebody's being very loud with silverware in the background. So, if you guys want to learn about art, because I'm here as a teacher and I want to teach for free because I hate capitalism. I'm not exactly a straight up socialist, but I think that it's bullcrap to have to pay for knowledge. If you want to learn something very specific, look into my description down here. I have a list of things I'm trying to teach right now. And if it has a link next to it, that art video has already been created. If it doesn't, then you're gonna have to wait. And if you don't want to wait, if you only want to wait like a week or 2, then comment which ones you want to learn first, and I will do my best to teach them or get them out as quickly as I possibly can. And if you don't see something on that list that you want to learn, please comment it and I will add it to the list. Because one thing I'm very good at is learning things very quickly and teaching them to others. It's one of my talents, one of my many talents. Haha! Anyhow, thank you for watching. I hope this answered some of your questions. If you have more questions, of course, again, comment below and ask them, and I will try to come up with another video. And you guys have a good day. Love yourselves. Make sure to tell somebody in your life to love them. Be positive. You're doing well. I believe in you. Bye-bye!